Welcome to Debbie's Grow, where we talk about issues that matter to the state, void of politics, fear of favor. Deputy Presidential Spokesperson Shamima Muslim has dismissed claims that President John Mahama personally directed arrests of individuals, insisting that the president is focused on governance and national development rather than involving in law enforcement issues. In an interview, she rejected suggestions that arrests carried out by state security agencies are done on the instruction of the president. According to her, Ghana's security and law enforcement institutions operate within established legal frameworks and are mandated to carry out their duties independently. She also stressed that attempts to link every arrest and investigation to the president are misplaced and fail to appreciate the role of state institutions in enforcing the law. She noted that President Mahama's attention is currently focused on implementing government policies, addressing economic challenges, and delivering on the administration's development agenda. She maintained that the government remains committed to upholding the rule of law and allowing appropriate institutions perform their responsibility without undue influence. She further argued that attributing routine law enforcement actions to direct presidential orders undermine public confidence in state institutions and overlook the legal processes that guide their operation. So, we've seen what is happening of late, where someone goes to speak against a government official, say things that do not exist, say things that do not exist. Even if you are making a claim, it should be backed with. For me, I believe whatever claims you are doing or putting across there should be backed with an evidence, so that if in case you are being picked up by this law enforcers, you are being picked out by these lawyers to defend yourself, you have something to vindicate you. But if not, then I'm sorry, you will be sentenced. So it got to a time where people were complaining that President John Dramani Mahama is the one behind the arrest of these people, and that the president is infringing on freedom of speech and expression, and the president is not giving the citizens, that kind of space to express themselves. And the deputy presidential spokesperson is saying it's false. It's false. The president does not really have time going about. Does it mean that the president doesn't have anything to do? Don't forget, I'm not even talking based on only President Mahama. Any president that comes on board, they've promised the people, and their sole goal and mandate is to ensure that the promise is being fulfilled. And so they don't really have that time going around causing the arrest of people and all that. But this is it. We cause the trouble ourselves, and then we end up shifting blame on the government. What has the president got to do with you spreading misinformation? You spreading false info? The law states that when you spread false info, this is what should be done to you. The law states that when you commit a crime, or when you do that, and they ask you to come and defend yourself and you're not able to do it, it means you are lying. So this is what should be done to you. That is the law. The law is not President Mahama. And you see, I was lucky to come by a video by the former president, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And then he made a statement during his time when people were being arrested, because I can vividly remember that there were times where people were making claims and all that. And I'm sure you also remember those two senior high school students who make false, they spoke ill of the president and they were dismissed. And so the president was being interviewed. And people are saying that you are infringing on their rights of speech and all that. And he said, I don't have the mandate to go and arresting anybody. But the law is what is dealing with these people. So if you don't tread cautiously and you fall into the hands of the law will have to deal with you. And that doesn't mean that he is behind it. It is the law that governs it. And the law is stating that do the right thing. If you don't do the right thing and you do the wrong thing, that is what should be done to you. And so if you're being caught up by the law, it doesn't mean that he is the one going about telling people that they should arrest this person, they shall. No. And that is why I don't understand when some politicians sit down and then they keep on blaming President Mahama, that President Mahama is infringing on their freedom of speech. President Mahama is doing this. Is President Mahama the one asking you to say what you are saying without evidence? Did President Mahama prepare that script of whatever you are saying? No, he didn't do it. You are doing it yourself. If because of fame, you want to go and be spreading infos that are not realistic, infos that are not true, then be ready to face the law. Be ready to face the law. For that, I can assure you, the law will deal with you the way it's supposed to. And that doesn't mean that it is the president that is ordering people to do that. Because we've had instances where people sat down with their phone and then they peddle falsehood, they spread false infos, they speak ill about the president. And when they are picked up, we will still have sensible politicians, sane and mentally sane government officials who will back these people, knowing fully well that whatever they are putting across there is false. And then when the Lord takes them on, then they say it is the government. If today I sit and then I speak ill about someone, I pick a government official and then I talk ill about you, I insult you, insult your family and everything that concerns you, say things that do not exist, and then when I'm being picked, you sit somewhere and then you say it is President Mahama who is causing my arrest. No. President Mahama didn't ask me to sit here and insult anybody. The fact that I'm able to sit here and speak, it means that the sole right I have to speak was not being infringed on. The freedom I have to speak has not been taken away from me. I still have that freedom. And so sitting here to speak, that is the freedom I have. But when I sit here, because I have that freedom to speak, I have that freedom to share my idea, doesn't mean that I should spread false information. It doesn't mean that I should target a political party, I should target a political official, and then say things that do not exist. You have the right to bash anybody you want to bash. You have the right to hold any government official accountable. So long as they promise to do something and then they are not doing it, you have the right to do it. But be sure that as you are doing it, whatever you are saying, you have evidence backing it, because you might end up saying something that is not true. And so be ready that when you're being picked up, you have something that will vindicate you. If you don't, the law will take you up. The law will definitely take you on. And that is what we do not understand. I don't know when we will understand that. I don't know when, that common sense will drop. I don't know. And sometimes I see people trying to compare themselves to other people who do same on social media and all that. And you see, there is this one person that people have been referring to. Someone like Kevin Taylor. People have been referring, as for Kevin Taylor, there he speaks his mind, he insults people and all that. If you arrest me, go and arrest Kevin Taylor first. I don't know whether, in as much as I do not support the insult and all that Kevin Taylor does, but have you sit down and listened to him talk before? Have you sit and listened with the recent expose he did about former Kufuor? Have you listened to the video? I'm just asking, because whatever he says was being backed. He brings out the evidence to back his claims. And it's written, it's in history. If you want to know how Kufuor governed the country, it's in history with your phone. You can research and then know more about it. But you see, that is what we do not understand. And so the fact that someone is doing it and the person is not being arrested, you should sit down and question yourself, how does he do it? You don't just stand up and then you start insulting people because people are doing it. You are backing people. There is one person that was picked. The recent lady that was picked. And then I learned that she said the minister, the regional minister for Greater Accra, Linda Oklo, should stand in for her. And in an interview, the woman said she can't. she said she can't do it. So it should tell you that with the same politicians you are backing, with the same party you are dying for, in fact, you can slaughter yourself for that party. When you get into that trouble, they didn't send you. I'm telling you the truth. They didn't sell you. Yes, we know you're a faithful member of the MPP, you're a faithful member of the NDC. You can die. In fact, you can sell all your belongings for that party. If you make a false claim and you are being picked, no one will stand in for you because they didn't ask you. No one sent you to go and be spreading false info. And so when you get there, you're going to dance to the tune of the song alone. You will dance to the tune of that music alone. No one will help you dance to it. And so please, we are begging. In as much as we have the freedom to speak our mind, to hold public officials accountable and to do all that thing, it doesn't guarantee us or give us that mandate to just speak up and speak rubbish, say things, just to tarnish the image of people. The day the law will get hold of you, that is when you understand that freedom of expression doesn't mean that you just have to sit down and say whatever you want to say. If you're being picked, doesn't mean you're being intimidated. The thing is, do the right thing and the law wouldn't come after you. Thank you for making time with me on Debbie's Grill.